This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Fan.
If you want to chime in what's happening with your favorite KFAN shows, you can make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. Just let us know what you have to say by texting that message to 64686. That is 64686. Standard text message and day rate supply. The Fan and Sioux Cup Manufacturing bring you Fan on the Farm starting May 19th, 9 to noon. We'll be taking your tractor talkbacks. Each day, one farmer will be chosen to receive a Sioux Cup prize pack, including a Carhartt cooler and a Brewmate Growler canteen. Get full details, KFAN.com/farm. Sioux Cup Manufacturing Company, helping farmers feed and fuel the world.
Mark Rosen really likes foul. Not F-O-U-L, but F-O-W-L. Did you know that?
No.
He eats crow every day from 2 until... Hang on. Can you give me a ring? From every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 2 until 3. Let's go ahead and start. Brett Blakemore's got 5 feet 4 ready for Time
now for... 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1.
Time now for an in-depth look at the state of hockey.
The state of hockey. I was getting
Goosebumps. It's funny because I actually do get chills sometimes. I listen to that song, which is sad. But I love it. I love the state of hockey. Game 6.
I bet your gal's all right with that for now, too.
For now, for sure, yeah. Game 6, pivotal tonight against the Golden Knights. Heartbreaker in the last 2 games. A controversial offside. Controversial no call in Game 4 where Ryan Hartman gets open ice body tackled in the slot. Oh, sorry. I was trying to...
No, I know, but
add a little bit.
No, I'm glad you were petting about it. What do you mean controversial offside? He was offside. Nothing controversial.
That's true.
I mean, if you don't like the rule, I mean, look, let's face it. That had nothing to do with the puck going in the net. I get that. Teddy B talked about he loved when the rule was first instituted. Funny, now he doesn't like it. But I don't know if I like it either. But anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
I still like the rule as it is. I mean, if he's offside, he's out. It's not like it's roughing where it's up to the referee's discretion.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's offside or he's not. So I'm fine with it. To me, it's on Nyquist for not dragging his foot like most people do. So, no, Game 6 tonight. Calls go against him, not the offsides, but just bounces not going the Wild's way the last couple times. Could have went either way. There really hasn't been a bad game or a stinker where the Wild just didn't show up. They've been great this series, but haven't truly been rewarded for it. Common with this Game 6 night, by the way, you'll hear it right here on the Fan. Everything you need, including Fan Line after tonight. What are your chances for Game 6? Where's your dauber at with this Wild club?
My guess is you've listened and worked closely with Dan Barrero. Because that was a really long question. I mean, that just went on and on. But I'm glad. I appreciate it. I know you're doing it for me, so I can eat.
That is the idea.
I do appreciate that.
Of course, the Wild are a team in the NHL. And,
very good. Yeah. I like their chances. I bet Rosen they'd win the series. That's how much. Think about it. He bet against both the home teams. No! He'd have never done that when he's back doing TV. But now that he's not doing TV anymore, he doesn't have to worry about what will the viewers think of him now. Will the viewers think less of Mark Rosen if he doesn't like the hometown teams? I think I've described that before. That's what those consultants do for TV.
Will we see him in St. Paul tonight?
That's what those consultants do. Is they tell. Yeah. They come in and they say, now, news anchor, sports anchor, weather person, you have to be just like a next door neighbor to the viewers. They got to think that I like him. He likes everything I do. I like their chances. And because of what we said, I think in the way those games lost, they have to feel they're every bit as good as the Golden Knights. It's not like, we got lucky on a couple of games. We had some puck luck, and their goalie, like ours, got sick. Hill didn't get sick or get injured, and it's not like Eichel's kind of been a no-show just because he hasn't been able to do anything really, but it hasn't been because he was hurt or anything. So I think because it's been neither team has asked for any quarter and they've given none. I think I like the Wild's chances tonight. I'd love to see them force Game 7. I think they will.
Question number 2. It's now time to take an in-depth look at the welfare of the Wolves.
Yeah, the Wolves didn't have any problem winning in the first round. They beat the Lakers last night, as you heard, with the Starship montage to start. The potential matchup in the second round, either the Rockets or the Warriors, both could be argued as who would you rather face. Common, who would you rather face if you're the Wolves in the second round, if you got to choose?
I don't know. I got to be honest. I'm not paying as close attention to the NBA in general, and specifically the Houston Rockets and Golden State Warriors as it once did. I think Houston seems to be young, fun, spry. Golden State, cunning and guile. I'll take cunning and guile over youth and athleticism every single time. Steph Curry's 30-something or other. Draymond Green, 30 or something or other. Jimmy Butler, 30-something or other. I think they're both mid to late 30s, actually. Draymond's got rings. Curry's got rings. All Jimmy Butler's got is a ring around the collar. He's never won a ring. But he's a big-time clutch player. And, he took an 8th. He led an 8-seeded Miami Heat team to the NBA Finals one year. So I guess he's hungry for a championship. I don't know if he's hungry for mini meatloafs, but I know he's hungry for a championship. So I just think it'd be more fun. It would be a more interesting series than, I don't know. Houston just seems like, now maybe Houston poses a bigger threat to the Timberwolves, but as far as the matchup for me, it's I like, because if you remember, Draymond, much like I guess Shaq, like to criticize Gobert. I think Draymond's done nothing but rip Gobert. You got Steph Curry, again, people like to, what's his name? Anthony Edwards. Who was it that he ousted the Joker? He's beating the superstar. Well, it's not all him, but if you want to put that, because he's the leader of the team. It's his team. He's the alpha male. He downed Durantula last year, right? Didn't they also we beat Denver, right? Mm-hmm. So he downed Jamal Murray in Joker. Now he's taken out Doncic and LeBron. And so now you think, well, now what's the next? To take out 3 guys. Now let's do 3. Butler, Draymond, and Curry. And with their depth and their youth and their, look, when the Wolves made that trade, when they swapped Big Meow, who's now become Bodega Cat, for Julius Randle and DiVincenzo, and there were some other little side pieces, but that was basically the trade. I knew nothing about DiVincenzo and Julius Randle other than what I read in the fish wraps.
And that's it for today's edition of 5
Are you cutting me off already?
I didn't mean to cut you off, and I thought you were done
sounds
there.
like more than 4.
Wow. Just about to. Okay. Guess that's your way of telling me that.
I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
How did you think I was done? I was just getting
There was a
started.
little pause there in the sense. I thought that was
I'm
it.
thinking. I'm a thinking man's talk show host. I'm a gardener. I got to think a little bit. I can't just. I'm looking. I'm searching
That's
for
on me.
I'm searching for the right words. What was I saying?
Wolves. You were digressing on Wolves and Ant beating superstars.
Oh,
yeah. So
So now maybe it's all 3. Can he take down 3 all-stars in one? Can he take down Jimmy Buckets, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry? That's a tall glass of water to do, but I think they can do it. Their depth. I was talking about the trade. I knew they needed to make a trade for money, but I didn't know how do you trade. I still think Bodega Cat, at the time when he was Big Meow, was the reason they got through Denver and he was the heart and soul of that club. But you know what happens? Guys get traded and teams got to move on, and guys all accept it, and they're playing awfully well right now. I think they're playing as good as any team in the NBA, if not better than any team in the NBA. So I think the Wolves. But I don't know which one they would fare better against. But I just like the matchup with Draymond, Steph, and Jimmy Butler.
that's it.
Well, how do you know I'm done?
I don't. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Not done eating, but I'll eat.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 questions. Well, actually, 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
You've got bonus bonus bucks, right? Brought
I
to us
do.
by BigDeck.com.
The Fan and BigDeck.com wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Head to KFAN.com, enter the keyword bank. The keyword is bank, KFAN.com, keyword bank.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Man.
Give a one-of-a-kind gift this Mother's Day with a spa experience at Woodhouse Spa. Check out our contest page for your chance to win a $100 gift card. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest to enter.
I brought this up yesterday. There's too much going on to follow it all. I just can't keep up. The Twins yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, they lost 4-2. Was that yesterday's game with Cleveland, or was that today's, or was it 2 days ago? I can't keep my game straight.
4-2 was yesterday. By the way, if you're wondering, they're already down 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth.
Pablo yesterday was his usual solid self, but apparently he had a throwing error that led to a runner reaching. He was given a hometown scorer, right? I guess it was the Santana kid that used to play for. Well, he's not a kid; he's an elder statesman in the league. But he played with us. He was awarded an infield hit, and had the throw been on target by Lopez, they may have gotten him out. Instead, It was, I didn't realize, that's the 8th error charged to a Twins pitcher this year. 8. That's more than any other team's staff. I'm reading from Fish Wrap Factory Westside. And the 3rd time this year that the error led directly to a Twins loss. After the error, Brock Stewart relieved Lopez, issued a walk, then struck out Danny Schneemann. 2 E's, 2 N's. Why is there 2 N's at the end of Schneemann? What's the sense? Is it Schneemann? Maybe that's how you're supposed to be said. Pierre Maguire or ask him. Schneemann. Daniel Schneemann for what could have been the 3rd out. Instead, the next batter, Bo Naylor, hit a Stewart changeup 6 rows deep. Get the women and children out of the first 6 rows. And right field sees 3-run homer. Twins couldn't match. They lose 4-2. They went from, I remember the headline, Fish Wrap Factory Westside, suddenly surging Twins, score 11. Get us excited, get us pumped up. Look at, we're suddenly surging. Now, the reason we were suddenly surging was much like Suddenly Susan. Do you remember Suddenly Susan?
No. Should I?
I think it was a TV show.
What year?
With Brooke Shields. Can you Google Suddenly Susan?
Suddenly Susan.
Or maybe I'm thinking of the song by the Motels, Suddenly Last Summer.
It was a sitcom it ended in 2000. Oh, it was in 96.
Yeah, you weren't even born then.
I was just born. Yeah.
Was it Brooke Shields?
Yeah, it was.
I never saw it. I just remembered. Suddenly Susan. So, and
was she not Susan at one point? Sorry.
No, that's a hell of a question because I'd never given it that much thought. I wonder if at one time she was like Mary.
And then all of a sudden.
And all of a sudden she became Susan.
Yeah, I guess. Good for her.
Suddenly last summer, Martha Davis, I had her in studio twice the first time. We both talked about the first times we ever did LSD. I thought it was a great segment. I had a crush on her back in when she was a big star back in the early 80s. This goes back, though. See, this is it. I talked about this the other day. Twins lose a game 2-1. Paddock pitches pretty well for 5 innings. Now, somebody, I didn't see the game. You know, it is amazing. It's almost like Harry Houdini, like where I'm able to analyze sports without ever witnessing the games. But he said, well, yeah, Paddock, you know, he struggled in his last inning, the 5th inning, and he wriggled out of the jam. He wriggled out of the jam, and then the Twins felt like they had to replace him. Okay, that's fine, right? You know, I don't know. I didn't see it. It was if he was laboring and he was really struggling. Okay, you get him out. But then they put Brock Stewart in. He pitches the 6th inning. Then they put in the Jacks guy. What's his first
name?
Griffin Jacks pitches the 7th inning. Then Duran pitches the 8th inning. Then they bring in Louis Varland. Well, it's sort of the same. Varlander.
They brought in Verlander 5 years ago. Fantastic.
And Louis gives up the game-winning home run. Game over. And my whole thing, my whole argument was, when you use that many pitchers, it's like in blackjack. You ever play blackjack?
I have.
Okay. Let's say you see dealer's got a face card. Comes to you, you got 12. Well, you figure you got a hit. You got 13. Ace comes up. Now you got 14. Do you hit again? Do you stay? And 15. Say, eventually you just keep hitting. Eventually you are going to bust. It's just, or you land on 21. So it's after a while, it's like you get diminishing returns. The same thing. If you keep putting in a reliever, the odds are one of them is not going to have it that day. And Louis didn't have it that day. Prime example, Brock Stewart pitched the 6th inning and was fine the day before. He comes in now and gives up a 3-run home run. Well, same pitcher, same park. Day later, same lineup, everything's the same. And he gives up a 3-run homer. Because someone tried to push me and said, Well, yeah, but what if they need one of those pitchers for the 7th inning the next game, or the 8th inning pitcher? What if they need him again? Well, for me, if you're pitching him 1 inning, I think he's going to be fine for the second. I think even if he pitches 2 innings, he's going to be fine for the next day. But for me, the most important part is my voice is finally changing.
It's an exciting time.
I am excited too. I'm excited talking about. I'm excited that I've almost got to the bottom of the hour talking about a team I don't even care about. But you got to worry about winning the game you're playing. But no, but this is what it tells us in the Derek Falvey, Rocco Baldelli. Who was the other guy that's gone now? Levine. Yeah. Thad Levine. Is this your fake laugh or is this a real laugh?
No, I'm loving it.
So they go by that chart.
You've got 30 more seconds.
We got to go to another. We got to go to our 7th inning guy now. He can only pitch 1 inning, even if he's, and it looks like all 3 of those guys were pretty good. They didn't give up any runs. I think only 1 hit was given up and 1 walk by those 3 pitchers combined. But nope, we got to go to they just love tapping that right arm, bringing the right hander, right? So obviously the day before Brock Stewart had it, the next day he didn't. Don't use that many pitchers. Pitcher starter maybe a little deeper, give him 1 more inning. And by the way, if he gets in trouble on the 3rd time through the order, give him the hook. Have somebody warming up all the time. Just have a different guy step up and warm up for an inning. Another guy step in. I should be managing a club. I was the assistant coach on back-to-back Coon Rapids Little League Division AA championship teams. My nephew played for them. Thank you. Final break. We'll talk a little. There's a lot of news out of the break. And then Mark Rosen just before 2.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Carboni's Pizza is here to fuel you all through the playoffs. Visit one of their 30-plus locations to enjoy delicious pizza and get ready for a Minnesota playoff run. Find your nearest Carboni's today at carbonispizza.com.
Want some inside, behind-the-scenes dirt here at the Fan?
No.
You don't?
No, I do.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Well, the almighty Power Trip Morning Show, morning show, they go to the coroner's office and go, Chad Abbott, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. That's the way they are. Whatever they want, they get. They're going up to Grandview.
Lucky.
Camp Richard is what I call it. They're going to do some games tonight. And I think they're turning it into a watch party. Watch the Wild take on the Golden Knights, and then they're going to do their show tomorrow and play the Initials game. And I said, well, those guys know how to hook up their equipment. And he goes, well, no, we're sending Jared. Sending the engineering department up there. And I go,
Huh?
Why is that? I engineer my own broadcast when I do Tee to Green. Take the equipment, bring it up, plug it in. I've even what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of I've actually had to use stopgap measures to get the equipment to work. I've actually fixed the equipment with no tools, a couple of butter knives.
You've MacGyvered equipment.
Is that what it's called? I've MacGyvered equipment before. I have to engineer mine, but they don't. And then so then I say, well, and then here's another thing. Here's some more dirt. All of us have endorsements. We have wonderful clients that we work with. They become friends of mine in most cases. And, we tell you about their goods and services and their products. And, we think you should take advantage of them, right? And so you have some commercials are done live, others are recorded. So I'm not real good at running the equipment. Matter of fact, I've had you do it for me on a couple of occasions to help me out in a pinch when I got to have some commercials recorded. Mm-hmm. And the coroner's office always, everybody else knows how to do it. Everybody else does their own, which is not true, but some of them do, but he says all of them do. So my question to him just now during the break was, well, I engineer my broadcast, why can't they? And he had no response other than it's the morning show. Our bread and butter. Do you disagree? I mean, why aren't those guys go through a little training? Maybe it's because I'm the only person with the third class FCC radio telegraph operator's permit. I've got one. Oh, yeah. Trust me, I do. Because I take my job seriously.
I think all of our shows have equal value and have equal
I don't think you
respect.
believe that. I think you're a big morning show guy, would be my guess. You love that morning show.
Really?
You're young like you, hip now with it. Wow. That's okay. Did you see the coach, J.J. Redick, before? Is it Redick or Riddick? It's Redick. Did you see him before the game?
When he was ripping in? Yeah, that was weird.
Well, they showed it on TNT, on the Barkley, Kenny the Jet, Shaq, and Ernie show. It was pregame media session. And some media guy asked a question basically implying that he's a rookie coach and he maybe made a mistake by not playing, because that was the controversy in game 5, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. It was game 4. Second half, he played 5 players, never subbed anybody out, right? And the question was kind of like, do you think maybe you might want to think, he didn't say it this way, but here's what he was saying. You think you might want to lean on your assistants who have more experience than that? Because that basically cost you the game. That was basically what he was trying to say. And Redick got just bitter. Oh, saying I'm inexperienced? Oh, you're talking about my lack of experience? You don't think I talked to the coaches? Then he answered and he threw the mic. It was mic drop. Dropped the mic and he walked off. And Kenny the Jet, I love that. If I idolize and pedestalize Chuck, Shaq, and Ernie and Kenny the Jet. And Kenny the Jet says he was right and he was right, meaning the media guy. He was right and he was right. But I don't think he was right about one of those. See, I don't really. I guess what he's saying was right about is you should not have. Redick has taken a lot of heat for playing all 5 of those guys and not giving them a breather, giving them a blow. And you could have done that. And would it have made a difference? Maybe. If I read the post-game coverage correctly, he asked the 5 guys on a couple of different occasions, anybody need a blow? Everybody said no. Now, I've seen some people say that, interpret that as, well, what else are they going to say? They're not going to say they want out. But I would think if you're a pro and what a pro wants, you would know what a pro wants and what a pro needs. And if you needed a blow, you'd say, give me a minute, coach. 1 minute, give me a minute. I need 2. I mean, Altuve, did you hear that story yesterday?
I missed this.
He was not afraid to ask his manager for an extra 10 seconds. You didn't hear that?
No.
I'm not making this up. I could find the story again if I wanted
sure.
to. This is so good. This is what Altuve said yesterday. I can't believe you weren't listening to the show. What were you doing yesterday? Oh, you were golfing. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Well.
So, this is so good. For the first time in nearly 2 years, Jose Altuve did not bat in the leadoff spot when the Astros played the Tigers. The 15-year veteran requested the change, according to Astros manager Joe Espada. He did so because of his move from second base to left field this season. Here's what Altuve said. I just told Joe that maybe he can hit me second some games at some point, and he did it today. I just needed that little extra time to come from left field. And he decided to put Jeremy there, Jeremy Pena. I just needed like 10 more seconds, that critical 10 seconds. He could run a little faster from left field and get it, because remember, he's batting leadoff, right? Mm-hmm. At home. And that running in that extra time, he needs, I guess, all that time to, I don't know, just does he do transcendental meditation before he gets up to the plate? Does he do something different than other players? There have been plenty of outfielders that have been leadoff hitters. Cesar Tovar played center field and led off for the Twins for years and was very good at it.
The brisk jog into the dugouts just really tuckers you.
Lou Brock. Well, not even so much. I don't know if it's so much being tuckered, but it's just he needs the time to prep. Lou Brock, left fielder, St. Louis Cardinals. He ran in from left field and he led off. He never batted second. He didn't go to Red Shane East. Did you know the manager of the Cardinals used to be Red Shane East? He had red hair too. That's why they called him Red. And
that tracks.
Yeah, and he didn't say, hey, could you bat me second because I need an extra 10 seconds to prep for my at-bat? And I know Lou Brock, and Jose, you're no Lou Brock. You're just not. So, but go ahead.
Well, my question is, what happens if they get around the order and the leadoff hitter who's batting first in the order is the third out? What happens that following inning? Now you've got there goes your 10 seconds.
There goes your 10 seconds.
Better get ready.
So, but Jose came right out and asked. That's what he needed. He needed 10 seconds. So I would think if you're LeBron, if you're Reeves, or if you are Doncic, if you needed a blow, why would you be afraid? What are you afraid they're going to challenge your manhood? If you need if the coach has decided you're going to play in the entire half, I don't trust anybody on the bench. We have to win this game, because you saw what happened when they didn't win that game. They lost the next. They had to even it at 2-2. That's what the coach felt. The players probably felt that way too, but they could have asked for a minute out. Would that have made a difference? I don't know. But so I don't necessarily think he made a mistake, because everybody wants to, not everybody's saying it's totally on the coach, but they're saying because he decided not to play, not to sub those guys out even for a few short minutes, that's the reason they lost the game. And I'm not convinced that is, because they had a look from the corner. I guess you could say, was it Reeves who made the shot from the corner? I think it was. He was too tuckered from playing. That's why he missed the shot. He had weak legs. I guess that could be your comeback. I would hope at that moment of the game with get back, game on the line. The Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoffs. I would think that Reeves, he's in his 20s. He can't be that gassed that I can't get up and make this 3-point shot from the corner. They weren't that. They may have been tired. But guess what? It's playoffs. Be tired some other time. I haven't got time. Comment, I haven't got time to bleed. They don't have time to rest. So I don't think it was just, they lost by 3. Had, let's say, the Lakers had won that game. What would they be saying about J.J. Redick? Brilliant strategy. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. A lot of people are saying you don't play 5 guys without giving them rest, and they would be saying he's a genius. Front runner for playoff coach of the year. I don't know if they have that award, but they could make one. Playoff coach of the year. So this is the idea that because he played, that gave them their only chance to win. They only lost by 3. Did he sub last night? They lost again. They lost by more, but not by a lot. How about Connolly finally hitting a 3? They were 0 for 16 in the second half. Gobert did help lead on. He basically was the whole team. And that's because I think, what was that? Did you watch it?
I had it. I've caught up a little bit.
So in other words, you didn't watch it. I like that. No! Because didn't the Lakers go small ball? They don't even have a good big man. And once they got rid of Anthony Davis, street clothes, it was over, right? Mm. So they went small ball and figured that's our best way to win. So
I know they got it within. They had a lead at some point in the fourth, and then the Wolves kind of clamped down.
I heard it was close. And here's the thing: have you ever been watching television like a sporting event? You fall asleep, you wake up, and you go, oh. Then you try to shake your head. I gotta watch, and and then all of a sudden it's like. Eyes start blinking again, and the next thing you know, drool's coming out of the side of your mouth, right? And then all of a sudden, you wake up again, and you look at you see the score change. Fourth quarter? Yeah. How long have I been sleeping? And then you think, well, by gosh, I can stay up now. So then, I'm a sloucher on my couch. Are you a sloucher?
Yeah.
Or do you have good posture? Do you sit up? I wished I had better posture.
My back's probably worse than it should be for my age because I'm a sloucher.
Yeah. That's the same with me. I just there's that certain position. I'll try to demonstrate. You're the only one that can see this, but this is me at home, just like this.
Yeah. But that's comfy, though.
Oh, so comfortable. Now, think about if you're 10B, though, you got your keys in your pocket. You got your wallet in your pocket and your cell phone in your pocket while you're watching the game, slouched on the couch.
That one.
It's hard to elevate your scrotum there.
Well, you're right.
Yeah, that's tough. But it looks, that's what I'm doing most of the time.
My scrotum's elevated right now. Well, you can't see it.
No.
You don't want to see it.
No. The worst is when you accept defeat. Have you ever done that where you're slouching, and you convince yourself, well, if I just lay down normally on the couch, then I'll just be more comfortable knowing full well that you're just going to pass out and miss 2 periods or 3 quarters.
I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
I tried, but I couldn't. And I knew the outcome anyways. I mean, again, it was close to the bitter end, but I knew I predicted it yesterday. I said, I think the Wolves will take care of business. And I said, I think they'll get LA's best, whatever they have left. They'll give it to the Wolves. They're not going to roll over and play dead like that, like the Heat did against the Cavs the other night. But I just knew the Wolves were not going to let that one get away. It's a team they seem to be very comfortable with who they are, where they've been, where they're going, and where they're at. And they have they do have a number of players. It's not just Ant. It's not. I mean, when he's on, that's probably the best version of the club, right? Yeah. When he's scoring 45. But what did he have last night? Can you look it up? I don't. Of course. I don't think I gotta believe it was well below a season average, or maybe I missed that part when I fell asleep. But Gobert went off for, was it 27? And did he have 24 boards?
24 boards, 27 points for Rudy. Ant had 15 points, 11 boards. Yeah. 15 points. Now 11 boards are good, but and I'm not saying that makes that Ant didn't play well, but he didn't. What was his? What was his? How many shots did he take, and how many did he make? He probably wasn't even doing a volume thing. He's gotten better at that. It's been getting better as the season has progressed. And if you remember when the playoffs first started against the Lakers, I could dig up the Mike Conley quotes if you wanted them. He basically put a lot of pressure on Ant and said, "Look, he's got." And I'm paraphrasing what he said, but his decision making has got to be where he knows where to go with the ball, and he's become better with that. And Ant himself, Finch said it before. I think it was before Game 4. He said, or maybe it was before Game 5. Where Finch said, well, he now comes to me and talks to me about strategies and such like that, because Ant is now, I don't know if it's just dawned on him, or if, when you're young and you're first in the league, they don't pay too close attention to you, so you're able to kind of, you just jack it up, you're open all the time, and then all of a sudden when he started to become the player that he is, teams started saying, well, we're going to take him out of the game. We're not going to allow Anthony Edwards to beat us. And you saw the frustration. He stated the frustration. Well, wait now. I like shooting. I like scoring. They're doubling me all the time. And
And after a while, I can see when you're a player when you're a scorer and you're not getting a lot of opportunities to shoot, sometimes you force the issue. And he did that a lot. That was part of my problem with the club this year. There was even a quote today. I mean, I don't know how much of the credit I should take for this victory, for the way this team is playing. But there was I think it was from Finch. This was the gamer immediately following the victory. Chris Hine writes, moving on, Rudy Gobert powers Timberwolves past Lakers into the second round of the NBA playoffs. Here's what Finch said. We got a long way to go. We'll regroup, but we are certainly going to celebrate this because this team took a lot of bleep through the season. And that was set against the backdrop of a really good run last year. They took a lot of criticism. They took a lot. My guess he probably used the SH word, right?
Probably,
because it says expletive is what it said. It didn't. It didn't have the words. We took a lot of bleep, and I was one of them. I can only demand from others what I demand from myself, and I expect players that are paid that kind of money to be able to play better than they did early in the year. They had some just awful, sloppy losses. And it's like, come on, let's be pros. What a pro wants, what a pro needs. And now they're finally starting to do the things that I expected them to do as a professional basketball team. And they're now doing that. And, was the timing just right? Were they able to do this all along? I still think basketball teams can flip switches when they want. And I think when postseason starts, that's when everything ratchets up. But yeah. And then Randall was big. Randall is found his place in the team. He had trouble early. Meshing with the rest of the team. Figuring out what his role with the team is, because it was different here than it was with the Knickerbockers, apparently. He had 23 yesterday, 11 in the fourth quarter. And the Wolves were ice cold at that point, right? I mean, they were ice cold. Mm-hmm. He finished the series averaging 22.6 points on 48% shooting. That's like every other time you shoot, it goes in. It's a hell of a percentage. Dante DiVincenzo, we'll go with that pronunciation today, DiVincenzo. He said, Julius is an all-NBA guy. You guys can say whatever you want about him. Again, see? You guys. In other words, the media. Why? I can only form an opinion from what I see, and early in the year, he wasn't very good. He just wasn't. It's okay.
Dan Cole. A whole lot of character. I just want to say, you doubted us, but now we're here.
That's exactly right. I mean, Bodega Cat had no problem acclimating himself to the Big Apple. He fit right in New York. It didn't take him more than a game to be doing the things he used to do that made him good. Why was it taking Julius Randle so long? Why was it taking Roberto DiVincenzo so long? Why was it taking these guys so long? Roberto DiVincenzo was a golfer, sorry. Dante DiVincenzo. You guys can say whatever you want about him. We're just saying what we saw. That's what Dante said. Everyone in this locker room knows who he is and what he does for us. Well, we are seeing it. Now I do know what he does. Now I am seeing it. But we weren't earlier. Just because Dante wants to say that he wasn't. Here's what Finch said, also about Randall. Another guy who's had a lot of unfair criticism in his career. And he was outstanding on both ends of the floor. We don't win the series without him. Well, I agree. But, look, for all the years that there have been organized sports that's been covered by media, I'm sure there have been players that have been unfairly criticized. But my guess is there were probably points in Randall's career. I don't like to talk about myself. I really don't. I don't like to make things about me. I don't like to
I always love
use
that
myself
one.
as an example or an analogy or make comparisons. But I faced a lot of unfair. Well, it was probably fair. Most of the criticism I faced has been fair. I can't deny it. Lazy, unprepared, uninformed, selfish.
Lazy, stupid.
Or both. Or both. Yeah. Lazy, stupid, or both. I've been described as that. Maybe that should be the State Fair t-shirt. Common man. Lazy, stupid, or both. You like that t-shirt? I'd buy that t-shirt.
I think I'd buy that t-shirt. It's never too early to start thinking it.
It happens all the time. Like with Przynski, you played that soundbite from Przynski is as famous as Mark Rosen's picture at the 1965 World Series. I think.
A whole lot of character. I just want to say, you doubted us, but now we're here.
I did doubt him. I doubted him. I did doubt. If you watched him during the season, there was plenty of reason to doubt the Twins. There was plenty of reason. There was plenty of reason to doubt the Wolves this year. Do you agree with that? I was like, why is it just, it's going well now, so now, you're almost acting like none of that other stuff ever happened. The losing to the Utah Jazz, blowing leads, playing poorly, not gelling. Barely, there was a point where it looked like they were in legitimate peril of making not just the play-in, but making the playoffs. And then it was like, well, they might have to do and had they been facing, they were facing the dregs of the league in the last 2 weeks. If they weren't, they may have had to play in the play-in. So, not all criticism is unfair. I get it. Look, I faced a lot of it myself. Brett Blakemore, I'm sure you faced a lot of criticism. If you haven't, I've got plenty for you on the other side of the break if you want it.
Slow golfer.
Yeah, right,
exactly.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Now you're talking. Now you're clucking big chicken. And that's all you eat is chicken.
That's right.
Pretty much. That's right. That's right. That's right. The legendary Mark Rosen joins us next here on The Fan.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.